Okay, this video will show how to compute a sample standard deviation for a small sample size of just 7 data. Alright, I'm going to start with a column, counter column I, go with, and then next one xi, that's where the data will go. So I'm going to have a 7 data points, so let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and xi, these are our data, 1, 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 6. Okay, these are the actual same data set that I used when I made a video on computing sample standard deviation. All right, let's go. We will need a sum row. You always need a sum row. Okay, so we're going to sum all the data points. Here I'm going to use my mouse. I'm sorry, use my arrow key. Start with B2. Make sure you enter colon. Okay, and end with parentheses. So that's my sum, and I'll need that to compute my mean. Alright, so my mean, I could use the equals average, but I'll go ahead and have it done manually, which is 28, that's a B10, divided by 7. 7 is number of data points, so that should give me this. Okay, and my third column, the column C, is going to have so-called the deviation, which is going to be xi minus the mean column. Right, and here what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell Excel to subtract each data point, so like 1, which is B2 at B2, minus where the mean is, which is at B11. Okay, it should give me -3, since 1 minus 4 is -3. Okay, there's one important thing that we do need to edit a little bit, and that is to this B11, we do need to enter this kind of a strange symbol like a dollar B $11. Okay, and what it does is when I copy this formula down, this dollar B $11, which is the location for the mean, will remain fixed. Okay, you see what it means, what it does when I copy this down. Okay, it's important that you put those dollar. Okay, I'm going to now copy this formula down for the rest of the data set. And there, that is my so-called deviation column. Now, the sum of this column is never used computationally. However, it is a very useful column to check if you're doing correctly. If we sum this, I'm copying this formula across, it should give us 0. Okay, you must get a 0. If you don't get a 0, something went wrong. The only time that you may not get an exact 0 is when this mean is some sort of repeating decimal. Alright, then let's go. Last column is going to be this deviation squared. So I'm going to title this. Okay. Alright, so that is going to be a pretty simple formula. This number, which is a C2 squared. Okay, you see that symbol there. Alright, and same thing, copy this down. And yes, this column we do need to sum. Copy it across. The sum is 22. And here's our standard deviation. Remember, standard deviation is the square root. So I'm going to tell this to take a square root. Square root of what? Square root of this number. That's the sum of the square of the deviation divided by, remember, for the sample standard deviation, it's always 1 less than the number of data points, which in this case is going to be 6. Okay, that should do it. Alright, now let's do a decimal. Remember, the decimal convention is that the mean should contain one extra decimal than the raw data. So numerically it's same, but we're going to go 4.0, and standard deviation normally contains one extra digit than the mean or decimal place. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce that to 2 decimal places. Alright, so there you have it.